Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I am so excited to do some journaling today. It feels like it's been forever, but I guess that's the beauty of junk journaling in general. And one of the reasons why I ever wanted to do it to begin with was because I don't have to write in it every day. In fact, I don't have to write in it at all, which is super nice. I am journaling about my house. Currently, I'm doing a lot of renovations in my house. So I just kind of want to document a little bit more about that. I think I did a renovation page of some sort in my last journal, but I forgot these paint chips. And so I painted my kids' rooms a while ago, but I just found these paint chips recently because we just painted the bathroom in one of the same colors. So I just wanted to keep these in my journal. So at first I put an eyelet through it, but the eyelet didn't go all the way through the stack. So I'm going to eventually take that eyelet off of those paint chips and just tie it with the string, but I'll do that later on. This is a photo that I just printed off the internet, and it is a floor plan to a Victorian style home. And on this page, I wanted to do some journaling about my own house, but I also wanted to do some journaling about my dream house. So my dream house would be a Victorian style home. I just love them. I love the way they look. So I just want to do a little bit of journaling about that, almost like a vision board or something like that, where I have a photo or two of some houses that have the style that I'm looking for. So I just go ahead and glue that floor plan up at the top of that page. There's a pocket at the bottom of the page, but I just wanted to cover up the white space at the top. So I just put that there, and then I tucked the paint chips in the pocket. This is when I decided that I wanted to go ahead and take that eyelet off because the paint chip on the back was just falling off. And also I decided that it would look better if I had a different color paint chip on the top anyway, because that paint chip actually matched the photo I printed offline perfectly. So I have this big box of stuff that I want to use in my journals, and very often I don't use the stuff. I've had a lot of this stuff sitting in the box for years and just haven't used it, and so that's kind of a bummer because I love the stuff and I don't want to throw it away. So I have gone through the box and picked out tons of stuff that I am definitely going to put in my journal, in this particular journal, and this is one of them. This is actually an embroidery pattern of some sort, or like an iron-on kind of thing, where you would embroider over the ironed image. But I don't do a whole lot of embroidery, especially not peacocks, so I decided to just put that in my journal because I love peacocks. So this is one of the houses that I printed off the internet. This is not the house that I want to live in the future. This is not my forever home, but this is a good example of one of the houses that I would really like to live in the future. So I really like the color of the house, and I like the style, obviously, of the house. But there are some attributes about the house that I would also like for it to have, and this does not have them. So, but this is one of the nicest pictures of a Victorian home that I have found. Most of them are kind of falling apart, which is a bummer. But I would like to go in one day when I get lots of money and refurnish and redo the houses. I just think they're gorgeous. So I put one of my little lace paper ruffles at the bottom of that photo. And then on this side of the page, I have cut apart this little doll dress because I love the fabric pattern. It's one of those things that I pulled out of the box that I just really want to use. So I'm going to use it on this page. And I also pulled out a couple of other little embellishments that I want to use on the page. These tickets have absolutely no rhyme or reason for this page, but they're blue, and I thought that the color would be good to pull in because it's a little bit of a darker blue, maybe less teal. So I decided to put the tickets over on the top of that pocket over there and put the fabric underneath that. This is another item that I pulled out of the box, and it's just a book page, but it has these beautiful roses on the front of it. So I decided I was going to put that on the page as well. This page has tons of stuff glued to it, like tons of stuff. It's so intricate and so detailed, and I'm super proud of myself for managing to do this because this is not something that I just sat down and thought about prior to beginning my journaling process. It just kind of happens this way. So what I did was basically I pulled out a ton of stuff that all kind of goes together and is cohesive, or at least a color scheme that I liked, and I just pulled all this stuff out of the box and just left it in a stack for myself. So no matter what I pull out of the stack, it's going to go on the page and it'll look good. So that was kind of the method to my madness here. So I just go ahead and use some wet glue to glue that piece of fabric down, just a little bit of glue. And then I added a little stamp to the top of that. This is actually an Abraham Lincoln stamp. It's a 1-cent stamp. This is the coolest stamp ever. And I know that a couple years ago I did a video where I had like a whole little page of stamps or something, and I covered it up and y'all all freaked out. So I just want you to know that I do value my stamps. I do love them. That particular set of stamps was just not valuable, and it looked cool, but it was just not something that, I really wanted to put on the front of a page. So if you've been around long enough, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do value my stamps. I do have a very large collection of stamps. It's one of my favorite things to collect. So now I am just adding some buttons because I feel like that lace paper ruffle needs something else to go on it. I actually sell these lace paper ruffles in my shop. I think they're super cute. And I don't use them very often. So I'm trying to use some more of my stuff. One, so that you can get some ideas on how to use them, but also because I value my own art and I feel like I should be using it as well. So I am adding some buttons just to make it, just to add a little bit of detail, I guess. I added a little bow to the other button there. I think that looks really cute. This is a coffee-dyed piece of ephemera, but it has this super cool house on it, so I wanted to go ahead and put that on the page as well because I feel like it fits. So I went ahead and glued that book page down with the roses, and then I put this coffee-dyed picture up at the top. I'm trying to find a way to add these little Victorian die cut bits. These are real, super vintage, maybe even antique. I don't know what the cutoff time is. I think it's 100 years, but yeah, definitely if it's 100 years, they are antique die cuts, and they're so cool, but I do struggle to find a place for them when I'm journaling because I love them so much, and honestly, I'm just hoarding them. So I'm trying to use the stuff that I'm hoarding. So this is actually a pattern that is going to be in my shop very soon. It's not there yet, but I'm going to do a whole set of these coffee dyed ads of some sort. I guess they're like French ads, and I am working on it. It's a work in progress, but I messed these up, so I am putting these in my journal because I don't care that they're messed up. I think they're really pretty. And I just added this coffee dyed paper doily up at the top. And I'm going to put one of these Victorian die cuts on top of that paper doily. I think that looks really nice, and it adds a little bit of a different color to this page as well, which I think it needs. I think it gets a little washed out when it's just too much of one color family, if you will. So I'm tucking that into the pocket as well behind the paint chips just to give myself a little bit of writing space. This also came out of the box, and it says lucky, and I have been told that I am extremely lucky, so I felt like this fit on the page because I would be lucky if I owned one of these houses. So yeah, that was my thinking behind that. I'm just going to fold this piece up because it's a little too tall for the pocket, but I do want to give myself some space to write. So I'm just going to fold that in half and tuck that back in. I'm not going to cut it or anything. And I think that I might actually be done with this side of the page. So I'm just going to flip the page over because I do want to give myself just a little bit more writing space for this because not only do I want to write about my dream home, but also about my own home and what we're doing and my feelings about it and all of that good stuff. So I have this book page as well. This also came from my box. It's one of those book pages that I just love. So I'm going to put that at the top of this page, and I'm just going to put some washi tape up at the top and just make it like a hinge on the page, or flip up, if you will. I stuck my tape down, and then I realized that I was taping to the piece of paper that I had stuck on the other side of that page. So I pulled it off and I glued that piece of paper down. I hope all of this makes sense, but yeah, I just messed it up, and I'm just gonna glue that down and tape that page back down. It's not a big deal. I'm also going to add some tape to the back of the page just to make sure that it doesn't come up in the future. And then behind this, I'm going to add some coffee dyed paper to do my journaling on. And so I'm just measuring that out to fit behind the book page, just so that you won't be able to see my writing as soon as you turn the page. This will be a little bit more private. So I trimmed those papers down, and now I'm going to sew them together at the top. And I just go ahead and glue that straight down only at the top of the page. So it will flip all the way up, and I'll still be able to see the pattern on the scrapbook paper because I absolutely adore this scrapbook paper. So I go ahead and glue that up at the top, and then I just add a little bit of washi tape for good measure, and just because I love the washi tape and I felt like putting it there. So this is a little vellum label. This is a Tim Holtz label. I cannot remember. I think it's Transparent Things #2 or something like that, the name of the set. But I just stuck that up at the top. It's going to serve me no purpose at all. I just wanted to add something else to that book page because I felt like it was a little plain. And this is the other house that I printed off the internet. It's also not the home of my dreams, but it is close. So I'm just going to glue that to the scrapbook paper right behind my journal pages, just because. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this journaling session, and I hope you got something out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.